Hello everyone. Sorry I haven't talked to you guys in a while, but I don't know. I've been sort of busy and doing stuff and blah blah blah. I'm not gonna make excuses. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about divination, different types of that, because I just received my new tarot deck, which I love very much. I have although realized that I'm not very good at tarot. I need to practice a lot more. I've gotten so used to my oracle cards, which are so easy to read for me, and they are easier than tarot because there's a lot less and they're very, very easy to read. And I forgot that tarot can be very hard. Anyway, divination. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. I don't have too much experience besides with my cards, but got my Book of Shadows here, and I'm just going to go to the page I set up for that. Here we are. Alright, so divination basically is sort of tapping into your intuition and just sort of, you know, I'm sure you guys know what it is basically, but there's a lot of different forms of it. Some that most, like, I won't even mention in this video. I'm just saying the basic ones here, but it's very, very wide spectrum of things that you could do with that. So let's get started. The first one I will talk about, first form of divination, is ruins, using ruins for divination, and usually ruins, which I don't have any at the moment because I prefer my tarot method, but I actually wanted to try them. I just have to get outside and grab something to make it out of, and I don't really have very many tools for it. Anyway, basically they are small little pieces of wood or different materials, but I tend to see it as being wood with these symbols or other symbols, but these are the common ones. They all sort of represent a letter, and they all represent something like wealth, strength, you know, things like that. Force. Anyway, and these ones in particular, very Norse, I think. I think they are. And, yeah, so that's one way of divination. Basically, you put them in a bag and, like, toss them around, and then you take them out. It's kind of, it reminds me of tarot in a way, just because each of the ruins represents something, just like the cards. But anyway, that's basic ruins. I don't know too much about it because I've never actually tried it. I really do want to try it one day though. But I think you use spreads just like you do in tarot, like a past, present, future thing. But yeah, and it's basically that. So there's tarot, obviously, which is obviously the one I know most about. And there are kind of two ways of tarot, and that's tarot cards, and you can have oracle cards as well. There are many different ways for tarot, and there's seriously an oracle or tarot deck for everyone, just whatever one you're drawn to. I was drawn to this beautiful deck. So tarot cards, I'm going to actually be able to explain this in more detail. They all come with their white book, which tells you basically what each card means, but I always view that as kind of not how you should read cards. They're basically, you should use your intuition. Like, look at the card. What do you feel when you look at that card? What do you see in that card? It's hard to hold these with one hand, but these are the cards. And there you have this beautiful artwork. See? A very watercolor type artwork, which is absolutely beautiful. But anyway, so basically you have the major arcana and the minor arcana. The major arcana are like very important events in life and stuff like that. The Fool, Hanged Man, the Empress, the Emperor, the Mage, like the Magician, or whatever you want to call them. Just a bunch of cards. And they represent more major events. And then there are the minor arcana, which represent the more everyday life type things, usually. And they have 4 suits: the Wands, Swords, Pentacles, Cups, Each one has its own meaning, and see, there's like the wands, and each suit kind of has its own I don't want to say personality, but that's kind of what it is. Its own sort of correspondences, and they all mean something, and everything is different. And in each of the suits, they have 1 through 10 of the cards: king, queen, ace, and a page. I think I'm remembering everything, and each of those means something. So basically, you look at a card, and these cards are very nice because they're very, you can really see the meaning in them, but that's how they're supposed to be. But like, as you can see, it's a woman carrying like an entire village, and you can tell that she's overburdened, and that's kind of what that card means. By the way, this is the Shadowscapes Tarot, and yeah, so you would do some form of spread. Like, this spread is a Celtic cross spread. You find them everywhere, find them online. There's usually a few in the little white books that come with them, and that's how you would do a reading. You don't necessarily have to ask a question. I like to, you can kind of do it any way you want. I like to read cards in a way that's very general, like what will happen from here till then, what will happen to me in this situation, like, will this go well for me? Like, it's sort of a good, I don't know, way of explaining that. It's just sort of general for me. But you can ask questions, specific questions for it, like, what will happen to this person? How do I relate to that person? What do they think of me? Like, stuff like that. But yeah, and so tarot cards are like that. Now, oracle cards are different in every single deck. Every deck has different cards which mean a different thing. For example, like, this card means deceit, and this card means confidence. Like, it says it right there. They each mean something. There's less cards. It's almost like you have a full deck of major arcana. Like, because they have a word, they say something, they say what they mean, pretty much. And that's why they're a bit easier. They're also more general, and they don't tend to have like a negative side. And I personally never read oracle with having like reverses, having the inverted cards. That's another thing with tarot. Some people choose not to read with inverted cards, but like, say I got this card and it was inverted, that would mean pretty much the opposite of what the card would usually mean, because it's upside down when I pulled it. So I always read with inverted cards. Anyway, I think I've gone into that well enough. Another form of divination, very popular, is scrying. I personally don't scry because I'm not very good at it, but I do know there's a lot of different methods of scrying. You can look into a flame. That's a form of scrying. It's just looking into the flame. Crystal balls, very popular. Mirrors, especially the black kind, the black mirrors. You can do a lot, like wax scrying. I've seen that, and that looks pretty cool. It's a very, it's very like visual. I can speak English. I speak. It's a very visualization type of thing, and I've never been super good at visualization, so I don't do it very much. But it's a really great thing for people who are very visual and are very connected, I guess, and have a very strong third eye, and, you know, that sort of a thing. Because it's very visual, and not very good at that whole thing, but it's very, very good. Like, you could probably, I think people do scrying in Windows, too. It's I'm pretty sure it's a fairly, special type of thing, so that you'd probably do it on one of the Sabbats, or on the SBATs or something like that. But yeah, my main form of divination is obviously the tarot. But it's different for everyone. Everyone has sort of their way that they do things, the way that they do divination. And, so yeah, that's, like, just a quick overview of them. And, you know, I'd suggest to anyone who's interested to do further research in any of the ones, or even all of them, all the different forms, and just sort of find one that you really connect with and that you would really like to learn. I just chose tarot because it just sort of connects with me best, but I'd like to try all of them at one point in my life, so that's definitely a good thing to do. Anyway, well, I just wanted to do that since I just got my new tarot deck and stuff, so I thought it was a good idea. I have a couple of videos planned that I have not done yet that I will be doing in the near future, and I'm sorry I don't keep up with this channel as much as I should, but yeah, I will talk to you guys later, and make sure you read the description and stuff, look at the links in there, because I'm gonna put links and stuff to important things like my blog and my Etsy page. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. This is an unusually long video for me. I am going to go, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend, and until next time.